Hello everyone and welcome back to another Television 2 video today with a game that I originally wanted to bring to you quite a bit earlier, but then I had my little break and then I casted some other games, and now we're finally here with Curb vs. WF game number 2. So game number 1 we've already seen where Curb scored a victory on Chechnya versus WF, and a nice one too. Well, it got a little bit closer than we expected based on how the start went. And this one is, oh boy, this one, I've also seen that one live when it was played. And when I looked at the matchup, 10th guard tank versus 358, I thought WF was meming. But boy, was I wrong. So this one, you want to wait till the end, because this one is actually a really good game. And I'm really trying hard not to give anything away, but it's going to get closer than we would think. Let's just put it at that one. So, yeah, I guess we're just going to go into the divisions and then we'll see. And with 10th guard tank here first, so we're going to save us the more interesting one for last. This one is one that we actually also don't see very often. Apparently, it is played quite frequently. It's just that we don't see many games with it. Casted, that is. But I can definitely see, I underestimate this quite a bit, and I can definitely see where this is a good one. So, in the recon, we have a lot of cheap, efficient vehicles with the Su-57, 485 for Svedka, BA-10. We do have some doses coming, very notably, in the armored transport. It does not have a 50 cal on it, but these things can actually be quite annoying sometimes if the units can't really deal with it. Infantry tab, quite A and B phase heavy. I'm surprised that he apparently wants to spam Gavardis in B phase, instead of saving them from C phase. Interesting choice. We do have a double CQC in A phase, and then double, and of course double line infantry in A phase too, with just Gavardi. He has one card of Gavardi DPs in B phase, and then, yeah, double card of line infantry in B phase. Tank tab, quite nice, with a nice little mix of T-34s, T-34-76s, then heavy stuff, T-34 85, 943 variant, as well as Panthers and Tigers. Support tab, the usual 2K OB25, really nice. There are two cards of SU-122s, by the way. AT tab, very light. AA tab, interesting that he doesn't wet the A phase card. And then artillery tab, I think this is one of the most notable ones here, or one of the more notable ones. Of course, most tabs here are interesting. He brings two cards of Anrusha in B phase, that's it. But I mean, this thing can do insane amount of work and damage, so I'm not really surprised. And they eat ammo like insanely fast, but since he doesn't have any older artillery, that should be okay. Artab, quite nice. He brings the U2 recon blade. I think this one has bombs, since the one for 20 points. Then 2 cards of tank busters and 2 cards of P2. So the Artab here should actually be really annoying to deal with. Quite dominant, I would feel like. And again, he has, you know, he has the artillery to take care of AA and any other units in the game. And this is probably going to be his answer to Jagd Panthers, if there even are going to be any. I think we can shift to that now. And here we are with 352nd Infantry, the very interesting pick that we have here. Now, what is interesting here? He does have the SPWs in A phase, which is an odd choice, although they can, of course, deal with the Su-57 and the BA-10. The 204F CDM version actually has some decent pen. And the other one, I think we all know. Infantry tab, of course, all single machine gun units, which kind of sucks. He brings a lot of infantry unvetted. He has a whooping 111 infantry. The only thing that is vetted is recon. Is CQC, sorry. Just a very odd choice. Not something that he would usually. I guess he assumes that they will still be better than Gavardi. I don't really know what the idea is. He's definitely planning on spamming, though. And this continues in the tank tab, too. Panzer 39H and Panzer B2. And then the Slutsk that you get is one card. It's not much you can do there. So that's definitely an interesting choice, but again, he really wants to spam him, and then they have they won't pen anything other than the light armor that Curb's going to bring, so it kind of makes sense to just have all of them if you want to spam them and be annoying. At least they shouldn't be easily penned by infantry. Support tab, a lot of IG-18, interesting choice too, and then the AT tab is really stacked. So he brings both cards of Jagd Panther that you get one in A phase too, which is interesting. And then, I guess, to help, he brings a lot of Martyrs, because he doesn't have a lot of light armor. They will not be good at infantry support, but I assume he plans on using the light tanks for that, and then those to deal with actual armor. And I mean, yeah, I can see them trading up for sure. So we have the Panzerjäger 35R and then the Marders. A lot of AT guns too, the Pak 38 and 2 Pak 40s. So that is a very interesting build. Full on spam, not a lot of quality. Now, I say this because nothing is vetted, right? Except for the Jagdpanther, because I think you have to. But, like, unless, so far in this deck, unless he's forced to vet it, it doesn't, which is a very interesting way of doing it. I guess for the Stryk, I think this one you don't need to. And AA tab, just to SK72, they might struggle actually a little bit here. And then in the RT tab, we do have just Mortis in A phase, and in B phase though, we do have the WFs and the 155, so you get 4 of them, wow. And the off map, which is massive. Air tab, I mean, he has a good, this is actually a really good fighter. This is either the one with a lot of 20 mils or it's the one with the 30 mils. Both are very good choices. A tank buster, which is very reasonable, and another plane, a bomber in A phase. So, massive Air Force in A phase. So, this looks so cursed overall, but I'm very curious to see now what WF can actually do with this. Well, I mean, I know, but I only remember the outcome. I don't actually remember how the game was played. So I'm actually curious to see what WF can or cannot do with that build right here. Let's go. So happy to finally cast this game. We do see a little push down south by Kerb with some Tankos, Flamers, supported by an OB-25 and an Su-57. This thing's actually fast, so very dangerous. In the center, we also see a push by Kerb as well, trying to get in here, which can give this flag if your opponent doesn't have anything over here. Again, supported by some Su-57, some BA-10s too, and of course 2K with the Su-122. And I guess the Tanko is, with the half, going to go what's going to go in here, and he might be trying to push in there as well. Now, WF goes defensive right here down south, so decides not to really push. The Marder is going defensive over here, so you can't really stop the push, but the SPW might be able to. Doesn't get sniped by the Su-57. And for the center, we also have a Marder, as well as an SPW. And then some Strasstroops he's trying to get in here as well. So they're both trying to get in to each other's flags over here. And up north, we have a massive deployment here. So a lot of fast units with the Strasstrup as well, tons of Sicherungs, which of course will help against light armor. SPWs as well. All the Sicherungs, Grenadier, ton of infantry, then some cheap Panzer 39H, and of course the Panzerjäger 35R, as well as an H18. So most of the armor is going to go over here, all of it actually. Most of the infantry is going to go over here by the looks of it. So this whole blob going to go over there, and then here we have an interesting deployment over here. So I guess he wants to cut that off. Those, the Marder and the Panzerjäger. Yeah, it is. And these to spot for it. Okay, makes sense. And never really seen that, but it makes sense. I cheated. No, it's not going over here. Interesting. And some infantry. On the other side, not super hard pusher by Kerb. So I guess we're gonna get to that actually. Kerb has some BA-10, he has some infantry and Rozvedka and things like that. Defensive deployment in the town, more aggressive deployment actually up north as well. So Kerb are very aggressive. He's very much an aggressive player, and we see that. Like, his openings are very often, I've seen so far, very ballsy. Kinda, high risk, high reward. That's at least how it looks to me. Trying to push everywhere and hoping it works. So, but I think we can start that now. But what needs to be said is it definitely looks to me like Kerb has the better opener in the southern and center part. I don't think the WF can really do much here. Of course, the Marder, once it arrives, can deal with some of these units, but the problem is Kerb might be there already, although it has the range, so not so sure. Here, he can kill the Su-122 before the Su-3 can kill the Marder. So again, the Marder can pay off here. U2 is coming in, is really annoying. 4 50-kilogram bombs, so it does enough damage. It's way better than the Lysander, which I think only does 1 damage, but it also misses everything. And these actually hit, and they can work quite well. And he's got, he pays 20 points for them. That's nothing. And he's got 1 for every area of the map. Up here, it looks to me like WF's plan is to eventually really go hard for the hill, which is a common tactic. Blue side is definitely a little bit worse off, because you do have to Basically, once you're pushed off the hill, it's really hard to get back. You lose these 2 flags. You might lose this as a consequence, and you can make up for it by pushing this off, but it's not very easy. Insta IL-2 coming in to deal with that Marder that might otherwise stop Kerb's push over here. Stickers are going to get in, but I'm not going to do much. BF-109 going for the U2s. IL-2 could, yeah, it's going for the BF-109. Should not be able to catch it, though. I might save the Marder for now. But as long as it doesn't lose line of sight on it, that should not be an issue. So the BF-109 is going to kill all of them. IL-2, in the meantime, is transitioning to... yeah, the BF-109. Okay. Shouldn't be able to catch it, although all the 50 cals here are starting to show an effect. Ooh, that's not good. There we go. Yeah, never head on an IL-2. This is why you shouldn't do that. He might have had a chance if he tried to escape that way. Or maneuver in a way that he can, you know, get a side shot. Oh, Marder might die to the OB-25. No, it's out of heat shell. Well, the Su-57 can do the trick too. And the L2 is on its way back. So Sichron is the only fence holding a flag here. Schlosser got in, killed the Flamer, holding this flag at the moment. Kerb's push here has failed, but is already trying to continue on it. Marder is fighting, not the Su-120 by the looks of it. But he's gonna, yeah, it's, ooh, Marder going down. BF-109, no, it's gonna head on it as well. Oh no. Too soon. Too soon. Yeah, it's one of the 30 mil. It needs to be careful that it doesn't get a burst off here. Yeah, that could have been very dangerous. Both players are on the air micro trying to outturn the other, though WF has failed to do so. It is very tricky. I screwed up plenty of times, so I definitely see how this can happen. The important part for him is that, yeah, this doesn't happen. He needs to turn in a way that he doesn't turn in front of this, because even if it gets a short burst off, like we saw, it will kill. Marder going down, as I was going to say, it is going to get double teamed by, or triple teamed actually, by all 3 of these units. Tiger is moving into a nice position here. Again, needs to be careful. OB-25 can deal with that. SPWs are now moving. Marder here is not lucky by looks of it. Didn't kill anything. And WF is actually going to be pushed off the hill. Kerb here with a nice deployment of BA-10s and all these kind of things. Sichron's failed to do really much. Panzer-39H is actually quite nice here. The PTR S of D, or PTD, whatever. HE rifle of the... Oh no, he only gets regular Gavardian A-phase anyway. Tanko is probably going to get in here though. That's a problem because he will win against the Sicherungs. Panzer-39H should win against the BA-10, I would think. Although... I was going to say it's 2 and they have a decent rate of fire, so they will pen eventually. The 1v1, not so sure. Oh, Schlosser might go down to the OB-25 with the SPW coming in. Not really sure how much I can do. Moving in a nice position. Yeah, you can definitely stop the half track, and I think that's what really matters. Kerb about to grab that flag to Gavardi. As it's a common way of grabbing this flag is to just put something fast in there. However, once it's in there, it can contest, like it can affect the front line, but of course you can't really defend against anything like that as part of the issue that we see here. SPW moving in. We had a 59 for a brief moment, but it is gone. I don't know with which flag, maybe, no. This one maybe was quickly grabbed. Must have been. Another Marder coming in again. The Marder can have to deal with that. Oh, the SPWs here can also deal with the Su-57. This thing, very important, also has the armor of a light vehicle. So, SPW here might kill the F though. Oh! Wow, unloading just in time. OB-25 is opening up on it though. Heat Shell might kill it. Nope. Gets to live another day. Marder here is definitely not the right tool to deal with the Gavardia. Is he ground attacking? Yes, ground attacking. Gets the kill there. B2 coming in for the south. Again, the OB-25 can one-shot that, so that's a bit of a problem. D-44, 85, 1943 coming in, so the Marder can technically deal with that. Needs to be careful though. I think the OB-25 might just be going for it. I'm not sure which of the 2 it's targeting at the moment. Looks like he... No, you can see it. Oh, the Marder. Not good. That's it. Its last feature, and of course it pans, because why wouldn't it? Oh no, that might be the last one. Oh! It wasn't. It took it up. I don't know what it is with OB-25s. Some people say there's no secret stat, but I have a hard time believing this because these things land shots all the time. I don't know. OB-25 here, probably going after the Stostrup. Loses line of sight. Stostrup versus Tanko. Tanker has been already using Molotov, but I think it still drew one, and that's going to be the end of the Shostro. Can't really push forward anymore, though, because Sicherungs will hold that. Recon being called in. OB-25 is out of heat, so the Panzer B2 could potentially do some damage here. SPW here, stopping 2 Aptos. Kerb hasn't noticed, but 59 for Kerb as he's on this flag, holding this flag now and this flag. This is the issue of blue side. It's so, like, if you can easily lose 2 flags up here, like down here, this one is so hard to get into. First, if your opponent has any speed, you lose this, and then you're faced with the choice, do you really want to deploy here or not? If you don't and your opponent pushes hard, it's really annoying and hard to get that flag back, especially if you don't have the 2K control over here. I've just been in that situation a bit earlier today, as in the day of recording this. And yeah, so if you can contest also the 2K here, you should be able to re-grab this by supplying some pressure from over here. But it can definitely be annoying, and it is really putting a disadvantage, because again, you have to make sure, you have to really decide, do you want to push this at all or not? But also you have to contest this, because if you lose the hill, it's kind of game over for you. At the same time, and I think WF with his initial deployment was trying to gamble on that probably, you can push hard here, and if you can clear it out, you get potentially 4 flags that you can grab, and that can offset the 2 that you lose over here. You shouldn't really lose that one, and this one usually not as well. Pack 38 coming in. Now again, I don't remember much of this game. I just remember the outcome. And this right here, this position for WF. But if, and we can know this because it's a long game, if he wants to somehow recover, at least for a bit, he still has the off-map in B phase. So that might be his savior, because that, you know, this is it's so easy to drop an off-map over here. Same goes for red side, by the way, because you know that, you know, blue has to have something here at the edge of the hill. But 6 and 8 definitely not looking good. HS-129 now coming for both of these tanks. SU-122 is also here. There is recon here, and there's infantry here that should spot these, and the gun is doing that as well. And there's no Air Force or AA from Kerb deployed at the moment. So it might just be 2 easy kills, maybe even more. There we go, gets 1. I don't remember, but I don't think Kerb has a fighter. Let's go for the SU-122 next. Grenadier has no, it's not a Grenadier Panzerfaust, which makes this even worse. Now AA coming, another T-34 coming to deal with the Panzer B2F here. And that's, I'm a bit surprised by that, but I guess Kerb is aware that, you know, there's, except for the Marder, there's not that many things that can easily deal with that one, because the Panzerjäger 35R, which is probably the unit that he's most aware of in this deck, it doesn't have an answer to this. Oh, again, none of these units have AT, so T-34 over there can do whatever. But still, I would probably have called in one of these to deal with the... No! Queued up this one. I guess he is afraid of this this getting killed and his pusher being dismantled. So that makes sense. This thing can actually head on the L2, but the L2 cannot get on the back, because otherwise it will kill it. It's already smoking. It's definitely not a good thing. Another HS-129 coming in. Again, no A, so an SU-122 might be lost over here. And the L2 is turning too slow, so this might actually get out. Now A is coming in, of course. Actually quite far forward to secure this off. L2 is not so slow, though, so it might actually still get the kill, unless these despawns before that, because again, the timer here matters. Oh no, L2 gets a kill. Yikes. That's a huge loss, and it's turning for the next one too. So WF wants to call that off, or probably head on it. I don't know. Oh, this is so bad. This is such. He's losing way too many planes, quite unnecessarily. So, oh, BF-49 is going to get on the back of it. L2 takes a while to kill, though. He could definitely go after it. No, he's actually going to go for another run. That's ballsy with this thing still being around, because he might still get on the back, but then the BF-109 gets on the L2's back, and the BF-109 is probably going to catch this before the L2 is going to catch the other one. It's still, yeah, 70 kilometers an hour faster, but this thing, speed difference significantly higher. It's probably going to get the kill there. And there we go. SU-122 gets killed off. He might even be able to snipe this, and he tries. Is Kerb going to notice? Oh, I think he arrives at his destination anyway. No, that was close. That could have absolutely gone down, though. BF-109 is out of ammo, should probably fall back, but it's an A phase one, which are not which are only in single vet on Kerb's side, and at single vet they really do not perform super well. Panzerjäger have arrived. MG42 is actually under pressure over here, but it keeps two Gevadis pinned. Sturmbauer just chilling here. Gevadi can't move forward. Oh, they're stuck on the Gevadia too. HS129 now falling back. But no threat over here. B2 is actually able to bully that 37mm. Kerb has noticed, and I think he's running it away, but the B2 might actually kill it. It has two cannons, remember, so that will do quite some damage. One of them is actually doing quite a bit of HE damage. It's like a support gun, basically. It's 75mm. And the other one, so you can do 3 damage at once if it hits. I think it's not going to get out there. That's a huge loss, because that means the WF's HS129 still has 1, will be right back probably very soon for the opener here. Or Kerb has to buy, well, he's probably going to come back anyway, but Kerb has to buy more AA. Panzerjäger here versus T-34, another, oh no, it's just a Panzer 35. And an H. Yeah, these are very dangerous. It's not heat shells, but they fire just super fast, and they have 8 health, so, you know, they can tank a shot. So that will add up eventually. IG-33 just ground attacking here will eventually clear this off. Oh, that's a big hit. This, no, is not enough to flip the flag. But, you know, eventually tanker will be either pinned or dead. Oh, P2 now coming in. Would pack for the interesting choice. It's not actually, it's an interesting spot. Misaligned, actually. I think he needs to turn off auto cover, then he can actually cover things off. Oh, maybe it was meant to cover off the hill. That would make a lot more sense now. L2 coming in for, I don't know what for. He might have lost line of sight on whatever that was. Or he might have been afraid of a fighter coming in and tuning it down. 2 Signals coming in. Not really sure what his goal is with them. I guess to hold. But after he's almost there, but still holding the flag. 59 for Kerb still. I mean, Kerb has not yet secured the hill. It's actually quite weak over here. I think he has put a lot of points into tanks that have been killed. So that is definitely an issue. But he starts air spamming now. Kerb is finally, WF's finally responding with an SKF-720. There's lots of plane already flying around. 2 P2s and the L2. So there's that. Oh, yeah, we see an off-map. It's coming in now. It only has 1 calling because it's above 300 mil, but that one's going to hurt. That's actually going to kill everything here. Unfortunately, for WF, there's not that much here, so with just a mortar, he could probably clear it out anyway. And the BF-49 is going to get forced off by his 37 mil. The L2 might finish it off. Actually, it's going to do anyway. It's flying directly into it. There we go. He needs to fall that back now. It's probably going to die. The L2 might get on its back, but the 37 mil was just finished off. There we go. So that's, I think, all of WF's fighter. That's 360 points down the drain. And quite unnecessarily so. I do have to say that. He's so far, no offense, his air micro has not been very impressive. Down south, though, we do have a nice little counter push. 2 Pioneers will win here. And that might bring him this flank back if he can do the step push. Panther here still uncontested though, but the good thing is the HS129, the A is that more tanks are actually coming in. So the HS129 has a good target over here. Or he's clearing this out with a 150 WF. I mean, again, 150s, as I say very often, is not something you want to use at this range and alone, especially on this range, if you want to kill things. But if you just want to pin and then move in, totally fine. It's like a usable off map. Oh, the T-34. Hold on. Does he have to call? It looks like it went off. No, it didn't. This thing's still live. Just not that much time has passed. Or maybe there are some big craters here. Maybe there's bombing runs. Maybe it did go off. Is there a second one? No. This thing should only have 1 call. I'm confused. Did it get off or not? But at least there's more things over here, so it's at least worth it to go after it now. But the AA is actually secured. Well, no, he's gonna die to all of this. He pinned his own units with the off map. Yeah, you need to be careful about that. It looks like he had another one going off already. Did he bring both and we just missed it? Oh, units just moving in. And he's not unloading them too early. He knows that everything is going to get pinned. He's very confident that he can back in here without any resistance. So that's definitely ballsy. Oh, pack Pack 38 in a nice position over here, sniping enough though. Though probably for APCRs, otherwise it would probably be dead, I would think. 37 mil against SPW and Marder. More units pouring in. Oh, gap here. Yeah, he was moving a little bit too far forward. Although Sicherungs can snipe the reinforcements, so that's huge. And this thing does damage too, so that's not insignificant. But yeah, he's moving a bit too aggressively. 30-11 still for Kerb, by the way, despite this, but he can still grab this flag. Oh, we do see another encirclement. Stop being the first encirclement, actually, and allowing WF to keep this. He still needs his flag to equal out, though. Massive push there. HS-129 is now back in the center, and again, no way over there. P2 is trying to go after Pack 40 here. As I guess that 7-2 is in here, might stop that. No, this doesn't, because this thing drops the bomb very early. Wow, interesting. It's probably not going to lose it. One of these at single vet is not very impressive. HS-129, though, having a go at the Panther. Failed to kill it. Can't just stress it out. IL-2 is here again. Is it turning? Oh, it's going for the next one. Not good. It might turn. Yeah, no. Kerb. WF is now mainly doing it. By the way, Penny here move forward. IL-2 fails to get on the back of it. Fails to get the kill. HS-129 can turn, but it's turning the wrong way. Although the SDK-72 might save it. No, it does not. IL-2 might actually... No, it's not turning far enough. Actually turning the wrong way now. Is it going to get a burst on the way back? It will not. So I think the HS-129 is safe. This thing does not turn fast enough, I don't think. Now we'll strike here, forcing things off, but the T-34 is still alive. This is why I don't want to strike from that distance, at least not if you want to kill anything. Is the Panther damage? It is very much damage, so it yeah, you can look at it and it's probably gonna die. But he's still alive, getting unpinned. Panzerjäger 35R versus T-34 gets a pen by the looks of it. Oh, gets the kill. A fast rate of fire, winning those engagements. It looks like another bubble is forming here, although more Sicherungs arriving, more Panzerjäger. Where does he keep pulling them out of? He's still... It feels like he has used so many of them already. Yet he still has some. Wow, very impressive. WF again going for the Panther. This one might actually kill it, despite it being a single 150 WF from quite far away. The Z-72 needs to be careful. It is not armored to my knowledge. No, it is not. We could see the number here. I mean, so... although, in that case, it might be better, actually. 37, although not doing that much damage. One Kevada dead now, the other one's still alive, so needs to be careful. Losing this to the Kevada would be absolutely devastating. In the time, we do have a fresh push with some SPW-204s. Sicherungs being a little bit close, but it might actually work out here with the support of the light armor. No, not really. I do now finally have the recon planes in, by the way. The WF slowly stabilizing. I shouldn't say that so surprised, because I actually know, but like watching this, again, I don't actually know how things happen. I just know where it ends. There we go, another flag for WF. So I'm still amazed by how this actually plays out. It is quite a while back, and it was late in the evening, so I was just watching casually, not very much paying attention here. It was, of course, after all, not me casting anything. So Kerb, yeah, he tries to avoid the SKF Z-72, so he actually decides to go over here first and then go for the attack. With a heavy plane. No. Oh, no. He goes for the attack, but he wants, of course, to turn the other way. Yeah, that makes sense. Andrusha now coming in. So that has the potential to basically dismantle all of this. Or the AA, which is currently... I think it's more of an annoyance for Kerb than anything, really. I don't think it's really worth going after. I think he could just wipe out WF's push over here. Back to 14-10, by the way. WF volley now going after the Panther. Ooh, miss. Oh, getting a direct hit at this distance. One almost hits the 37 too. That's but AT gun going down to the T-34-85. There's currently nothing here. I mean, this thing can get a side shot, but how? Not very realistic. Andrusha gets a kill on the SDK-72 by looks. So Panzerjäger 35R is not spotting the Gavanta DP. Oh, Sicherung is unloaded. Is this it? No, but I'm pretty sure it's... Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the A. I mean, it didn't really prevent a lot. Okay, that's why. He wanted to go in with these guys. Oh, Pack 40 sniping T-34. 5. So it definitely looks to me like Kerb is getting some expensive losses. Not necessarily... yeah, no. Not sure if he's getting outrated. He still has a massive air force, but he's getting some expensive losses with his tanks. I think he didn't cover them with AA soon enough, and he's now paying for it. But still, 14-10. 6 minutes left for WF, by the way, if he wants to stand a chance of surviving this. Now the AA is being focused by 2 of them. Still, range definitely not ideal. You want to be much closer, in my opinion. But 2 of them can at least do a bit of killing. Or at least pinning. And, you know, Martyrs, while not renowned for their HE support, they do have some HE shells that you can potentially finish it off. They don't get stuck on the after, which they will probably kill very soon, I would imagine. Let's see. Oh, they're misaligned. It gives Kurt more time to fall it back and potentially dodge some of the damage. First one, no hitting, only pinning. And the second one, again, could end similarly. Yep. If he has now a bomber to follow up, that would be the time for it. But it would have needed to happen, I think, a little bit earlier. Or after might still get in. Marder lost line of sight on it. Someone's not going to get line of sight on it. And the Marder needs to be careful because this thing has an AT grenade. The nice push there by Kerb. WF dodging it with his Marder. Aware that this is dangerous. Oh, Marder and 39... having a little flanking engagement. I guess he was hoping on this facing that way, but it's apparently not the case. But the Marder can still get the flanking shot, unless it stops too short of it. Does spot it. T-34 is not spotting it. ABCR, doesn't matter, gets the kill. Actually, this flank here flipping as well, and this is going to tell WF that nothing is there. Well, actually, oh, half-track going after Marder, wow. He's not actually following up. He's moving over here as but the 37mm can still deal with it. I don't know if he handled a bombing run on these infantry by looks of it. Kerb's push in the town has failed. Most of his light armor there has been dismantled, as well as his tanks. Sicherungs should take care of that M2 half-track. Oh, Panzer can of course do it as well. More T-34s pushing Kerb. All Kerb needs to do is just hold some flag somehow. This one is currently achieving just that. Gavadian 37mm here. Should be able to stop that push. I think Marder's going after the Gavadian instead of the 37mm, wasting its AT shells. 37mm is probably just barely out of range. Gavadia. Oh, no. Oh, he's manually targeted. That is a huge move. That's absolutely huge. JU-88. 188 being called in to deal with that after, but it would bring it to 12-12, so that's all he needs. Getting the pin, but not the kill. Sicherungs should move now, though. It does, to ensure that he can win that. Marder's probably going to run out of HE shell very soon. IL-2 is now coming in, dealing with those two. Marder's going to lose them again. Oh, this one, he might lose line of sight. Does it? It does. Now going after the JU-188. I'm not sure why he did... Oh... Wow, he timed it so that it only dropped 3 of the bombs. Impressive, actually. SKS-2 being called in. Oh, he's still going to lose that. I'm not sure what WF is doing today with his planes. He's not calling them off when he should just calling them off. Be calling them off. Oh, Sicherungs going to get too close. He's probably going to get killed by the AF, though. And there we go, JU-188's down. That's the 5th plane that WF is losing today. And his only plane that can actually do HE damage. So that is pretty massive. Or Sicherung has spotted the after and is outranging it. So he will get the kill, bring it back to 12-12. IL-2 instead just using his rocket to pin these guys. P2 moving in. I'm not sure if this is a mistake or if this is a deliberate target. I think he wants to go after the Pack 38 over here. And I assume it is... a bug. We had a bug like that for WF happening with bombing. I think it was WF. Yeah, bombing run happening in game 1, where he should have where it was very obvious that he targeted one specific unit that was in one forest patch, and for some reason the bomb dropped over here. But here it seems to just be a visual bug, and bombs actually dropped in the right place. L2 is being forced off. Recon here can still do its work. Level 150 missing the 37mm as it is on the move. Marder is out of HE, so it can't really do much against it. 50 cal will eventually stop. Oh, another Andrusha strike here. I think that's just killed off the next AA piece over here. There used to be an SKS-720 over here as well, so this is the first one. There's some other things that died. Ooh, look at those. Oh, no, this is the first one. Where was it? Where was it? Somewhere over here, I reckon. Oh, there we go. So this thing's still alive, still doing the work. 150 actually being targeted at this flag here to get that. If he releases now, he might actually pin the after. That would be huge because the signals otherwise will get absolutely shred. Ooh, don't think it's going to happen. Maybe this one, but the after must know is too far at this point. Signals will get killed off here. A lot of units being lost over here. Gotta say, IHT9, that can easily kill up flag 37mm. T-gun. Marder now just pushing aggressively. I guess he wanted to not do the Q like the attack move. I guess he just wanted to attack this specifically. 12-12, but so far WF has not, you know, he's really far down on tickets. He needs to turn this around if he wants to win. H129 is coming in as the 37mm has died to the IH-18. Going after the half track first, which is probably very annoying over here. Although maybe not the biggest problem right here. And not sure if he sees any of those tanks. If he does, it would be a very juicy target, but nope. Sticking close to the SKS-720 now. That might be, except for recon planes, I think that's the only plane that he can bring anyway. I don't think there's any more planes left that he could even call in. As in, buy. I think that he's lost all of them. Panzer 39 35R, by the way, also a good HE support. However, very little amount of HE shells. But with the fast rate of fire, 1311 now for... Okay, it's not trying to chase it. Maybe it's trying to, but not a deliberate command. But 1311 now with the grenadier actually grabbing this flag, and this flag still being held. So somehow, WF turning it on. He's still lost this flag, but he's grabbed two now for Kerb. I think that's for the first time in this whole game. Shrimpire versus T-34. Eventually, Shrimpire will kill it. However, it takes a while. So there's that. It needs to be... Yeah, the Gavadia will probably eat up the Shrimpire's charges next. Oh! HS-129 is just being shifted now. Snipes it casually. HS-129 running again. Probably going to go for the Tiger next. Not a 37mm coming in. 1410 now with what? Him regrabbing? No, he had that before, didn't he? I don't think he didn't. So he regrabbed that one now. Yeah, so he's back all of his flag plus two that he grabbed. Marder here, not seeing the Tiger. Not in that position. Or Slutsk versus Tiger. At this range, dangerous. Slutsk can pen it. Not going to be the easiest of pens. Oh, with side armor. Most certainly it can. Or is it still busy with the Gavadia DP? Tiger's turning. Slutsk as well. Oh, got a pen. Slutsk gets killed by Tiger. Still, getting one pen off the Tiger is not bad. HS-129 is going for it. No, now it does. Yeah, but it was too close already, so it has to change the attack. No AA over here. And again, the IL-2 is catching up. So, not good news for the HS-129. Unless he wants to turn, which he should probably start doing now. I think he should have just fallen it back, because then he might have had a chance of this at least getting out of it. He's now trying to turn by the looks of it. Or this SKS-720 is just saving it. If the L2 turns the wrong way... Oh, no, this is basically flag 36. Yeah, just want to double check. So it is not going to do enough damage. And the H129 is not going to catch it. Now there's also A2. This one double that, so that's significantly better. 16-8 for WF. When did that happen? He grabbed this flag here. With what? Slutsk maybe killing something that used to be there? Must have been. And of course he got that back extension. So the tank that pushed here got killed. And there's nothing here. So flag flipped. 16-8. Even if he gets this one back. These two are taking a little bit more work to get back. It's going to be 15-9 for WF still. Very impressive, actually. Not an WF strike, not achieving much unless the goal is pinning. Again, you really don't want to, like, these are for close range only. At least close as in as close as you can with these. Because again, at range, if you want to deal any damage. But yeah, so these unfortunately did not profit from the free veterancy, or it's not free veterancy, but you know, to the buff availability that allows you to double vet them, which the regular ones got. So I really hope they get that too. I know they're mobile, which makes them a bit better, but they already have the price increase for that. Availability is too, you can't double vet them, it's just too tough with the availability. And Rooster Strike coming in though. One ammo truck is already emptied, another one being called in. Yeah, these things really eat through ammo. Another Grenadier coming in. Outranging the Afto should easily take out the Afto and to give our DP 2-on-1 at least. Aftrack here, by looks of it, is close to being out of ammo. Oh, this one's surrendering things, not spawning the signals by looks of it. Set 7-2, I'm not really sure if... No, I think the half-track would actually kill it since this thing doesn't have armor. Flags we grabbed though, this one as well by a half-track, meaning that the 59 is stopped now. Curb, I have a feeling that, yeah, desperately trying to regain control over the situation and regaining the initiative. Or more AA being called in to protect his tanks, definitely going to be needed. There's quite a few to the AT plane already. And WF's error losses, while insanely high, of course, I think kind of overshadowed by the 1HS129. Another volley coming in. I guess this is just to stop the push, I have to imagine. Tiger got penned once, question mark? I think it did, yeah. So one of these rockets landing could do substantial damage. 59 for WF once again. How he grabbed that with signals real quick. Not really sure. I mean, both these players are deprived of their income, but AA is coming out for Crip, so that has the potential to shut down the rest of WF's airplays. Whereas WF's SES-72s being distributed like this, they need extra veterancy to actually do a lot. I think Herb can potentially just continue the air spam. What Kirby really needs to do is to find a way to cut off this this 15-9, because this is absolutely breaking. But it's possible that his losses were already, you know, just too big. And the problem is that Curb has a lot of planes. However, every time, so this is especially important in comparison, every time WF brings out his HS129, it's going to kill something expensive. Every time Curb's going to bring an IL-2, so far it has been to go after something like Armada. So despite these things being flying around constantly, they usually only get one volley off, first of all, and they're killing a cheap target, which has not been the case for WF's HS129. So this is where things start to matter. And also SDK set 7-2 might just be lost to the Andrusha if he doesn't move it. It's a third that he lost in this position. You might think he thinks of moving it every now and then, but it appears not to be the case. Oh, he actually tries to bomb it. He's probably going to lose that. Yeah, P2s are really nasty. And he's not moving it either. Oh, it misses. So suppression of from the SK system to actually really mattering here. And I think this is a really bad play by Curb. He was going after it with the Andrusha anyway. The Andrusha would 100% have killed it. Now it's actually forcing it off, and it's actually going to get away from the Andrusha strike. So he's actually kind of sabotaging his own strike over there. That's going to do. The T-34-85 for his Vetke just died. I don't know by what, but that is absolutely massive. There's still some more Tigers in Curb stack though, but with C-Face being around, he should really struggle calling them in. Armada, on the other hand, is dirt cheap. Like, you can bring him off those. As you said, 7-2, both of them have now moved close together to prevent this from happening again. Andrusha Strike, I think, did not go through. I think he stopped it. Yeah, he's aiming again for the forest patch over here. He probably assumes that there's more in here that is also pressuring this flag. Reasonable choice. I mean, Curb definitely needs to focus his airstrikes, and I think this is one of the big mistakes here, that his airstrike going after the A. He really needs to focus on flags right now. He just wants to stabilize, make sure he can hold those flags, and he doesn't easily lose them. This, for example, is a very good call. Deal with that IG-33, then make sure the Gavadi can stay there, things like that. But again, like bombing strike over here would probably have been more useful than trying to go after SKF-720. And the Drusha, of course, is very nicely used now to go after an area where he has to suspect there being quite some infantry, which is reasonable. Unfortunately for him, not the case over here. The WF, of course, can be happy as long as he can keep the tick going, but he needs... This is a close one. I think he needs a triple tick, actually. So as long as Kerb can prevent a triple tick, I think he's going to be fine. So that should be his goal at the moment. Like, he knows that WF needs to push, and WF has not a lot of pushing power at the moment, except for using these for pinning and then moving in. Speaking of which, just trying to get those cleared out. And he got units ready to go. He doesn't unload them. He has them ready to drive in when needed. 2 of the SKF-720 going after P2. P2, by looks of it, this time being used in a better way. I think it's targeting this or that, but one of the two. No, way too deep again. Yeah, big mistake. Big mistake there by Kerb. He really needs to go. He wants to pin these things, but I think going for just preventing flag control would be way better. And again, it's using the Drusha again to go after this high value target. But again, all he needs to win is not be down one less flag than he's at the moment. He's probably going to win. Ideally, he wants to stabilize, of course, especially long term. But for the time being, it would already be very helpful, again, if he could just make sure that he doesn't get, like, WF doesn't get a 15-9. But again, that really requires him targeting things that bring in flag. There's 2 flags that would be easy to grab. You can kind of predict where the units have to be. And one bombing rush strike or Andrusha strike would probably do the trick. I think just calling out another Andrusha would probably do the trick now. I think that would be way better. Oh, look at that. Pack 40 probably got to kill an IG-33. Or maybe the HS-129 did. I don't actually know. Be absolutely huge. IG-33 though, are pushing. So no AA here, so the HS-129 might finally die, as these might catch it. Although, again, it has been called off for a while, I think, so it might be despawning any second. Is it going to die? It's going to get out. No AA coming in. I think there's no left, actually. And it despawns. Massive win there for WF, who can bring it out again. Strike went through. Panzergrand's moving in. 16-8 now. Another strike going through over here. And, of course, WF is in a different situation. He actually... Oh, SKF sets... running low on ammo, one of them at least. But yeah, he's... Oh, there's no... Never mind, there's one more. But there's 2... Is there only 2 that died here? I thought there's 3. No, there's 2. So you actually should have one more. Yeah, after this one. But yeah, so... what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Yeah, for WF, of course, things are a little bit different. He has one plane that is bringing massive value as it helps him dealing with problematic tanks. So... problematic units, which are the tanks. So for WF, it's very crucial now that the skies are clear. Also because WF Flag 37 definitely stops his plane. Kerb can, which is done nicely so far, bring his planes out in waves, and one SKF-720 is not going to now. Of course, WF has 2 in 1 position now. So that's a bit of an issue. But you could definitely, you know, you should be able to strike over here now. Just need to make pushes over there. This is, of course, not easy, but it's definitely possible. Bomb this. Use a move forward. Once the model reveals itself, shoot it with the rocket plane. This can be bombed or actually pushed with infantry, which I think we're going to see now. No, interesting. Surprised I didn't load some here. If I was him, I was definitely trying to get this in here just to get that flag back. That would be 1. But the DP pushing over here. Marder combined with the Grenadier can survive here and force that off. So this flag stays with WF for the time being. Another Gavadia coming in. Andrusha is again going after this. Again, Kerb really needs to stop doing this. It's going after one of 2 SKF-720s over here. And neither of them are actually in a position. So if Kerb wanted to bomb something that's preventing him from grabbing this flag, or this one, he could probably do this with his swarm at the moment. And again, he could just use his planes on here and go for a push over there. I think you need to be that opportunistic to just be like, okay, I have my planes. This area has AA. So where can we go with the planes where there's no AA? Can we push there? And it's definitely possible. Again, it's hard to see that while you're in the stress. in the heat of the moment. But just pointing that out, like this is definitely what needed to happen. What needs to happen here by Kerb. He might still be able to turn it around though. He has this flag barely, and he had this one barely. So this could be go back and forth. The problem is time is running low. It's possible that a single tick will now be enough for WF. So it's possible that Kerb needs to stabilize things entirely, which is actually still possible. You know, looking at this flag and this one, and again these in the town here. There we go. One is already back. Still, so it is possible. It's not impossible, but it needs to happen relatively soon. There we go, 14-10. And if you look at the timer now, 10, yeah, that's probably enough to equal out. It's a close one, but I think it should be enough for WF to at least equal out, probably take it. And if he, you know, as long as he has more flags, but if it's actually equal, as long as he has more flags than Kerb at that time, he will be awarded to win. This is how the rules work. P2 now finally, well, they're going after another tank, but finally also after something that's actually controlling flags. This shifting though for the pack 40, which is a major mistake, first of all, because it applies directly into these two, which of course you can't know, but pack 40 is, in my opinion, not the biggest issue here. But yeah, I think Kerb should have bought another Andrusha way earlier and just done what WF has been doing with his Nebelwerfers so far, just targeting areas where he wants to push afterwards. Or that can give him flags. 13-11, so Kerb actually being close to stabilizing things. All he needs is another flag. This one would do. And again, the P2 could have brought him that flag. It could have done that. MG42 now coming in the open, so it looks like WF is slowly running low on things to throw in there. Probably running low in. Though we see quite some energy coming in still. But he has been spamming them out. Can't imagine. Well, I was going to say I can't imagine him having more of them. Or a lot more, but he has 111. That's a lot. B2 coming in, so by the time it arrives here, it's probably about game over. Things are not exactly known for being fast. But there we go. WF is losing his initiative, and Kerb is retaking it, bringing it back to 12-12. That's huge. Now Nebelwerfer strike went after whatever used to be there. More armor coming in. 13-11 for WF once again, though, as it pushed forward with a B2 here, and the Grenadier here grabbing the flag once again, just barely. Again, B2 will probably bounce the Gavardia DP for quite a while. Grenadier opening up on a Gavardia, should win that. So this fight here, relatively decided at the moment. More ammo could also do the trick, which is being called in right now. That's huge. Definitely going to be needed there. IH-18 coming in. Nothing here can actually contest that. Not a Nebel Strife coming in. Strike. Grenadier here couldn't do anything against the after. Is the MG42 actually opening up on the after? It looks like it's shooting at the after. I think it is. Wait, what? Oh, it was in that building over here. And this is something that is still, it's annoying. Why the mouse just locks into one area. It's super annoying when you want to like deploy a unit very specifically like over here. And you don't know if it actually, yeah. If anyone knows, by the way, if anyone knows how to turn that off, I would be very appreciative of that. Because when you want to hide units in the backyard and have them like looking the right way, this is very important. I just failed to do so every time because of that. Maybe you can actually do it, and people who can hide units in the right backyards for them to actually work just know how to do it properly, and I don't. But if you're one of those people, also let me know, please. I do want to know. 5 minutes left. Yeah, this is going to be a very close one. WF on a 14-10. He might need a 59 at this point. So Kerb might have done it. It might not have needed to be that close, but he might have done it. Although there's two Gavardias versus two Grenadier here, and the Grenadier has the better machine gun. None of these benefit from cover, and the MG42 is helping. I think it's not going to be good for WF, for Kerb, and WF doesn't need 59 for long. It just needs it for a bit. It's 129 following. I guess he assumed there's going to be some armor coming, which is not the case actually. P2 again going for the pack 40 and failing to do so. While the Grenadiers here will probably have been what is worth going after, and it's chasing the HS129 again. I think he could have used the altitude just for rocketing like things like that. That would already be enough. Yeah, I guess going for after this with the Andrusha, I can understand that, but it might be just a bit too late. Because if this thing dies before the Andrusha can strike, or in the Andrusha strike, the flag will still flip. So SXS now moving forward aggressively, and more Grenadiers coming in aggressively as well. WF, yeah, he needs to go all in. He knows that he's doing that. WF, yeah, look at that. This is how how WF has been. I was going to say, I was going to call him SPWF, but he is by mistake, not on purpose. But this is exactly how you need to do it. If he doesn't kill it, doesn't matter as long as he pins it, which he also failed to do. But this is how you need to do it, and that's WF. God damn it, WF shows us very nicely how he does it. This is exactly how he did, and very nice show of priorities, setting the right priorities there by WF, who again targets an area that he knows his opponent needs to hold that flag. If whatever is there is pinned or dead, the flag's going to flip. This is how you do it. And this is so crucial here. Now, Kerb has finally shifted his attention over here, but I think at this point it's just too late. WF can actually win this before the timer runs out. Again, 50 minutes is the time limit, of course. Currently now pushing forward here. Sis3 is not in a position to stop it. Nothing coming in for Kerb. Kerb might be out of stuff. I mean, now, from having seen WF's deck, he has plenty of units. Plenty of them. Although I haven't seen a Marlin in quite a while, so I guess he's out of those two, probably. But yeah, nothing happening on Kerb's side. He might have just accepted that he's lost, but... Oh, there's going to be another flag. Can he actually get the 18-6? That would be absolutely impressive. I don't think he can find the flags, though. 45 mil coming. Yeah, Kerb is definitely out of things. If he calls in 45 mils to stop infantry and this is free to stop infantry... Because I don't think I think he knows that there's no armor. I think he's noticed that. I think that tells us that he's out of stuff. And again, if that happens in the last 2 to 3 minutes, that is usually okay. I think it wouldn't have changed much. Although I don't really know when it started happening. It's possible that it happened way early already, and it could have meant that Kerb had the forces to retake some of these flags. Or SU-122 gets wiped out by the Pack 40. More units just piling in. WF needs to hold for just a bit longer, and it's pretty unrealistic that Kerb actually turns this around. So this, by the looks of it, I think it's no spoiler anymore. This is how WF actually did. Again, I remembered that this happened. I just couldn't remember how we get there, and I'm not sure if the Andrusha just killed the T-34, if the Panzer B2 actually did it. No idea. Maybe it got a sideshot. It has 2 guns after all. Well, only one of them shoots AP. So, I think it was in 18-6, there we go. Nothing here, and Kerb surrenders. And, wow. What a game. Yeah, WF has been constantly out-trading Kerb. I think, yeah, again, we've seen this a bit. Kerb has definitely traded flags for points a bit. It was not that noticeable, though, I think, for quite a while. And again, I think he could have had it had he just focused his airplay and his Andrushas on actually getting those flags, because at the end of the day, that's what wins you games. Of course, having a big trade difference matters as well, but if this doesn't help you get the flags, then it means nothing, basically. And if you look at the chronology, well, there's a lot of some smaller kills here at the start, and BF1, of course, claiming 3 U2s, which are only half, combined have half the worth of the BF109. And forced him to buy one of these, and then immediately, so it is, you know, it looks like more than it actually is. IL-2 killing this thing is actually huge. And, but it looks like WF actually got quite some consistent kills, more than we thought, or more than I thought at least. Can't speak for you guys, really. I just want to know, though, getting a lot of value. It pops up every now and then. G188 suicide run to kill 1 Tanko. That was quite sad to watch. Andrusha, though, getting quite some kills. These things too, like, they definitely did the work. But I don't think it's going to add up nearly to as much as the HS129 going to get. And such a long kill list. I mean, that was a very grindy game. So let's look at the actual kill list on Kerb side. We definitely see the L2 doing a lot of work. But again, 5 ground targets, all of them are 50 points. So it's not the end of the world. Of course, you prefer not to, or the Marder 2 might actually be 45. I'm not sure which one is 45. One of them is. So it's not nothing. It is worth more than the plane. So the plane paid off, but still, it was not as massive as the strikes of the HS-129. However, it killed 2 BF-409s. It was absolutely massive. This thing is not a fighter, but you don't want to head on it. And of course, you need to make sure not to turn into it, because otherwise you get absolutely shredded to pieces. And this is what happens. But yeah, this thing absolutely massive. That's definitely going to deserve to be called an ace from now on. What's it called? Sayonov. New ace of the Soviet Union. I don't know, there's some good value of these things too. Su-57s are really nice. Su-122, not that fantastic. OB-25s. OB-25s are so good. Fantastic unit. D-44 actually doing quite some killing as well, although not all of these were super expensive. The P2, look at the kills list here. That probably killed half of, not half, actually. No, there were more, but it killed quite a few of the ATVs that WF had. That's huge. P2, this one actually, oh wow, it was the P2 that gave the finishing blow to the BF-109, the last one. Also cool. A bit of bombing too. And then some Gavadis, of course, doing some work. Andrusha, yeah, killing 2 SDK-720s. The rest is not so impressive. I mean, this already means it paid off. Second IL-2, still killing 2 Martyrs, which is not bad at all. Tiger, not fantastic. And then it kind of stops. On the other side, we do have the BF-109. Killing all of these 3 looks like a lot in terms of value. Not that good. Saved him from losing more things because they had bombs, of course. So overall, the trade might still have been okay. Still not ideal, of course. Marder actually doing quite a bit of killing. B2 doing the same thing. Wow, it killed an Su-122. I did not expect that. I don't remember this happening. The first HS-129 killed 2 T-3045, so definitely paying off, but this one's the one that got killed afterwards, I think. And Shrimpire here, wow, look at that. Its second HS-129 was actually not as impressive as I thought. Su-122, well, it killed 2 of those, which is absolutely huge. But then just 3 of them, never mind. And then 2 T-3476. I can expect it to be more. Still good. I'm not complaining about that. Well, I'm not going to be complaining anyway. I'm just the caster. But if that was mine, I would not complain about this at all. But still, I felt it was more, but apparently it wasn't. But it was just where it made a difference, I guess. And it definitely helped killing that Tiger, right? That died to the Nebula strike, because that would have survived if it wasn't weakened by the just 129. Other than that, there's nothing that performed super well Stück here, but 2 of them are half tracks, which is an easy target. This thing did decently well. The Nebula actually did a bit of, oh, the Nebula killed the T-34 as well. Interesting. 40 doing some work. Not a B2 killing a T-34. Yeah, that's the one we've seen at the end, right? Pretty impressive. Very good overall, though, to say. So, an interesting game. But yeah, I mean, we got 2 very great games out of these 2 players, and both showed their skills. So, both, I think, very underrepresented on this channel. So, get ready to see some more of them in the future, because I think they absolutely do deserve it. Great games. GG's to both of them. And with that, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and see you all in the next one.